In giving freedom to the slave, we assure freedom to the free, honorable alike in what we give, and what we preserve. We shall nobly save, or meanly lose, the last best hope of earth. Still, to use a coarse, but an expressive figure, broken eggs cannot be mended. I have issued the Emancipation Proclamation, and I cannot retract it. I have very earnestly urged the slave states to adopt emancipation, and it ought to be, and is an object with me not to overthrow, or thwart what any of them may in good faith do, to that end. You say you will not fight to free Negroes. Some of them seem willing to fight for you, but, no matter. Fight you, then exclusively to save the Union. And then, there will be some black men who can remember that, with silent tongue, and clenched teeth, and steady eye, and well-poised bayonet, they have helped mankind on to this great consummation. You dislike the Emancipation Proclamation, and, perhaps, would have it retracted. You say it is unconstitutional. I think differently. I am naturally anti-slavery. If slavery is not wrong, nothing is wrong. I cannot remember when I did not so think, and feel. And yet I have never understood that the presidency conferred upon me an unrestricted right to act officially upon this judgment and feeling. We all declare for liberty, but in using the same word we do not all mean the same thing. With some the word liberty may mean for each man to do as he pleases with himself, and the product of his labor, while with others, the same word may mean for some men to do as they please with other men, and the product of other men's labor. Here are two, not only different, but incompatible things, called by the same name, liberty. And it follows that each of the things is, by the respective parties, called by two different and incompatible names, liberty and tyranny. The world has never had a good definition of the word liberty, and the American people, just now, are much in want of one. We all declare for liberty, but in using the same word we do not all mean the same thing. 1/8 of the whole population were colored slaves, not distributed generally over the Union, but localized in the southern part of it. These slaves constituted a peculiar and powerful interest. All knew that this interest was, somehow, the cause of the war. I have always thought all men should be free, but if any should be slaves, it should be first those who desire tea for themselves, and secondly, those who desire it others. Whenever I hear anyone arguing for slavery, I feel a strong impulse to see it tried on him personally. Let North and South, let all Americans, let all lovers of liberty everywhere join in the great and good work. To the best of my judgment I have labored for, and not against the Union. Let us neither express nor cherish any hard feelings toward any citizen who by his vote has differed with us. Let us at all times remember that all American citizens are brothers of a common country, and should dwell together in the bonds of fraternal feeling. My opinion is that no state can, in any way lawfully, get out of the Union, without the consent of the others, and that it is the duty of the President, and other government functionaries to run the machine as it is. The Union is much older than the Constitution. It was formed in fact, by the Articles of Association in 1774. It was matured and continued by the Declaration of Independence in 1776. The United States don't need the services of boys who disobey their parents. I would save the Union. I would save it the shortest way under the Constitution. The sooner the national authority can be restored, the nearer the Union will be the Union as it was. May our children and our children's children to 1,000 generations continue to enjoy the benefits conferred upon us by a united country, and have cause yet to rejoice under those glorious institutions bequeathed us by Washington and his compeers. The dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. The occasion is piled high with difficulty, and we must rise with the occasion. As our case is new, so we must think anew, and act anew. We must disenthrall ourselves, and then we shall save our country. A fair examination of history has seemed to authorize a belief that the past action and influences of the untied states were generally regarded as having been beneficent towards mankind.